Okay, so we're finally ready to build some visuals with our data. So we have a couple different ways that we can get our data onto the workspace. But first, we have to be in the right area. So click these two green bars here, and then you'll see all these symbols appear. If you hover over each symbol, it'll give you that chart's name. So that's something to note. So as I mentioned, we can get our data or we can build our visuals a couple different ways. We can just click what we want and that'll show up there. And notice when I click through, it changes to that particular visual. If I wanted to add an additional one, then I have to click off into a blank space on the workspace and then click a new chart. To delete these, you select what you want, make sure that you see those three little dots, click more options, click remove. Alternatively, you can do Control Z or Command Z if you're on a Mac. So I'm going to remove those. The other way that you can add data is just by clicking one of your variables over here. Same thing, they're going to change and adjust down here whenever you click something. So I'm going to click it again to deselect it. Again, I'm going to remove this. So the first thing I want to add is the institution name. So for that indicator, I'm just going to use a simple card. And that one is on this little 1, 2, 3 symbol. So I'll click the card. And so I'm going to zoom in because I want this card to line up in this preset box that we made. So with that set, I'm going to then click on institution because that's what I want to appear in the card. And notice it didn't appear in the card because I clicked off of it. So I'm going to delete this one. Now select this card here and then select institution. So now it shows up. Initially, it didn't show up because I was in a different space. So it added a completely new visual. So that's something to be aware of as well. So perfect. So we have our first institution name up, and that's exactly what I wanted to show in that card. So I kind of think that I like to have this space smaller because I want to add some filters and slicers later. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm just going to lower that just a bit. So the next thing I want to do is add a card for our endowments because this is all about HBCU endowment funds. So again, I'm going to click a blank space, click card, and then I'm going to add that there. I'm going to zoom in to make sure I'm lined up just where I want it to be. And it wants to put that right next to each other, but I want that black space in the middle. So I'm just going to use my arrow to move over. And then I'm going to take this, move it over there, and bam, that lines up with the bottom and the top. So zoom back out. I'm going to click this again. And for this, I want the actual endowment amount. So I'm going to click endowment. So bam. So now we have our first two cards and we're looking good. So the next thing that we're going to do is add a bar chart. So I want the bar chart to go into this right box over here.